Good, good evening. So I'm going to start with the first thing, which was team binary. Team binary, Musmila, usually when you make presentations, it's your slides are meant to be summaries, and then you're supposed to now explain what you put on the slides. But most of the time, you were reading off the slide, and usually that's not a presentation. So you need to get better at explaining what has been put on the slide. So that comes with a lot of practice. So usually when you do a presentation, don't read off what is on the slide. You should be explaining to the people who are listening or who are watching what it is you're talking about. That was one. Um, yeah, from the clean data that was worked on, I saw something like date time. Usually, when you clean a column that is date time, you don't really need the date time because you're not going to be quoting that anyway. So that should be converted to maybe a short date or a long date or a preferred date format. I don't think if you needed the time, that could have been put in a different column. But I saw this across in almost everyone's work, so everyone should make a note of that. Oyedamola, one of your charts, one of your cleaning, you had to create a new column for the month that you extracted the column from that from the dates column. Then you extracted the months, and then you now went to pivot table to now use it to create your visuals. That's actually a longer way to go about this. And sometimes when you are trying to clean data, you need to look at the shortest or the smartest possible way. But of course, we can get to the same destination by doing other things, but then you need to do it smartly so that it saves you some time going forward. Pivot table by itself, they have this function. It has this function of grouping. By the time you drag a date function, as long as it's properly cleaned and properly formatted, once you drag it, it already breaks it down for you. You're going to have year, month, day, quarter. It's all in there. So you didn't have to create that extra column. But yeah, of course, that's a different way of doing it. But you just went an extra step, but you still use the tool that would have done it quicker for you. If you just practice that, you see what I'm talking about. Nice dashboards, well done with dashboards. Good use of the composition tree. It was excellent. And just mention that it's interactive, so people don't get confused and say like, okay, why is this thing showing me only Spain? But it wasn't mentioned in the slide that it is interactive. You can choose whichever country you want to choose and whichever product, and it will just bring out those visuals for you. But overall, well done. And Ayobami, nice dashboard. You could do better with the layouts. Yeah, you could do better with the layout. I think that was the only thing I pointed out. If you lay out properly, your text descriptions could be right at the bottom. Like I said, when you want to create dashboards, just look for samples online. Look for samples of people that have done dashboards and the way it looks nice, and just say to yourself, I want my dashboard to be laid out there. And just don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just the way it is laid out there, try and do it. You see how nice your dashboard will look once you're done. But overall, well done. And Ola Bode, yeah, there was good evidence of work done, but the Excel, which is done by Tom. Okay, so what you actually did was you cleaned the data in Excel, you created a dashboard in Excel. Then you took that same data, you took it to Tableau and started doing visualizations. You could have just used Excel as your cleaning tool where you've cleaned your data, it's well formatted, everything is fine. Then you load that data into Tableau, and then you come up with all your possible charts and visuals, and then you come up with a dashboard. That is you would have presented it in a better way that way than just doing something in Excel and then you go to Tableau and you do another. But you see that combo chart that you did in Excel, it would have been good practice for you to do it in Tableau because it's a different way of doing it, and you'll have just combined three different charts, bar charts, line bar chart, and a line chart. You would have gotten the same result, and it would have been beautiful. You would have just done everything in a dashboard. But you guys did well. Keep on practicing. You get better. A very great, yeah, that you are practicing your SQL. Well done. You would only get better at it. You showcase select statement. Select statement is basic for you. Don't showcase that because that's like the beginner when you start writing queries. There's really nothing to showcase in that. If you do I like the fact that you showcase other things like your other complex functions, which is good. Also, something I pointed out was you should try and be consistent with your querying style. One of your queries had capital of select, capital of go by, and all those things, and then the other ones are just small letters. So try and be consistent. So when people see that this was from a brain, they will know that it's from a brain. Good Excel dashboard. Just one thing to point out: if you want to use a pie chart and there will be too many slices of that pie chart that you can't fit a label, then maybe perhaps you should not be using a pie chart to display that insight. So if it's getting too much that you're having too much slices, the labels should be the call out labels that have a line and then it shows the what's it called, the label outside of the chart, so that all your labels are not modeled together. That's the better way to have done that. So that's all from from binary. I'm going to move on to I'm going to move on to agile. Yeah. So for agile, agile is a good dashboard attempt, but the color use was not so great. The color use was not so great. I think you have done better with the color. I'm not much of a colorful person myself, but I don't think purple and dark blue and some other things go hand in hand with each other. So yeah, so I think you could have done better with that color. And then also the whole dashboard as a whole did not look well aligned. I get the insight you're trying to pass across children at home and total children. You already have a label at the bottom, right, with colors, but you still had it at the top as as the name, children at home. It just didn't look well aligned. One thing you could have actually done, because it looks like there's a lot of space on this, but everything was just big. One thing you have done is, you see that bar chart that you try to come bring out, which is number of children at home against total children. You could have just done male and female on that same chart, so they are they are not side by side, but they are there on the x axis. That way, you are showcasing some insight, right? Um, yeah, something that is really broken down without the use of filters. That would have been better. Yeah, the use of the donut chart was good as it should be, but I think the labels could actually be on the instead of the legend. And also something I noticed was you had the filter of marital status. It was F and M, so you need to pay attention to detail when you create these things. I don't know if there's any marital status that is M. Perhaps you meant to put S in there, so that's an error there. And also the grid of the what's it called, the KPIs at the top, right? And then I'm seeing house zone. Okay, car zone. Okay, fine. Those are inside, but are they really what showcasing right at the top as KPIs? So those are things you should look at. You should always look at before you come up with a dashboard. Your second dashboard was better looking. I saw non available in one of the categories. Perhaps that's not the right one. Non available sometimes means that there's an error and that wasn't properly assigned. Maybe you should have just said maybe, oh, number of country person unassigned or something like that will have been better. And if you didn't want to display it, you could have just excluded it from the analysis because there was no bar that was representing it in there, so it didn't need to be there. So I'm seeing some other charts on the right, but I can't see them. But it looks like this was just cut out from that. For Sarah, well done on the Excel. I like that you're documenting the query and the results of the query, which is good. It's good that you have this, and then you can always come back to it in case you run into any issues in the future. I like the use of the tree map to showcase um, sales. Is this sales? It wasn't saying it, but visually it looks good. But there was no label. I could just be assuming at what I'm looking at, right? I could be assuming, but it's probably sales or it's probably profits. I don't know, but I'm just seeing a beautiful chart, right? Yeah, and further evidences of work done in Excel, which is good. You look comfortable working with Excel. Also, you went through some tasks on Excel as well. I would have loved to see these queries, right? But yes, it's good. You're using e-functions, you're using StormX, those things you'll be using on a regular basis when you eventually start working. So well done on that. Highlight in red the top 10 lowest orders. Exactly. You're using conditional formatting very well, which is very good. You're going to be using this on a day-to-day basis. Keep on practicing. They'll come in handy for you in the future. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. First of all, let me just say, well done to each and every one of you that is still standing today as a QA, and congratulations. That means a lot, and don't be surprised. It happens most time, and to be honest, they even tried. I mean, I don't know what has transpired, why any of them have dropped out or not, or maybe it's due to work or whatever. Yeah, but still. It's just one of those things. But yeah, well done to each and every one of you that is still hanging on there. And keep fighting, keep pushing. And yeah. So I'm gonna start with Team Binary, which is Trust KG, right? Oh, so yeah. Now don't quote me wrong. This is one of the um best presentation from Team Binary, and not content. Um, I meant the presentation. It was great. It was effortless, and I like the fact that you you weren't reading through the slide. You were literally taking us through it. It was really, really good. I didn't even want it to stop. You explained everything well. It was really awesome. Um, yeah, and so on one of the constructive criticism now. Um, So I like one of the slides with the test cycle, which was great, which showcased what feature everyone worked on. And I can see some of you did three. I think Nathan had 3 tickets, which is great. Well done. And so you should do anyway. I think it was even 4, as I can see. And well done to KG as well. And yeah, so I like the fact that some of you were standing in the gap, covering your team members, not coming up saying, oh, because we didn't have so and so, that's why we couldn't complete it. But well done, you guys did everything. And one of the criticism I said I had earlier that I wanted to talk about was you said I believe, so you shouldn't use that I believe, you should be sure. When you said I think 5 past, 7 past, that's for KG, yeah. But just be sure, don't use the word I believe. So just say it as it is. Though you were right, but I'm just quoting what you said. So other than that, the presentation was great. The content was all right. And then the challenges you guys had. So this is why most of the time for the content, I always ask for the box screenshots, because this is one of the most vital role of a tester, because it's not just finding a bug, it's about how you communicate that bug, how you want that bug to be prioritized, how you want that bug to be fixed. Because when you get out there, you are literally, the company is in your care, because whilst the BAs, everybody have done their parts, you are like the last will I say, stage or last phase of it. And everyone is always waiting on the tester. So whatever you say is what everyone will take. So when you say, oh, it's a pass, everyone want to believe you've done your work very well. So when you find a bug, it is your responsibility to make sure it is assigned properly to the right developer. I mean, I'm not passing any blame. It's good, because this is the right place to make the mistakes, so that when you get out there, you trust me, any mistake you make here, you will never repeat it again, because it will stick, if you get what I mean. So it will definitely be with you, and you won't repeat such mistake. So I'm glad that KG made all those true confession, to be honest. And I want to believe everyone have learned from what happened, how you guys mixed the miscommunication of the bugs to the appropriate people that it should have been assigned to, which is the developers. And again, whenever there is a blocker, or when there are issues, do not wait until DSU before you start passing it on to the what they call the SMs. Yeah, just try give an update in between whenever you can before the DSU. Once you know that, that's why we do ask for capacity, because you are expected to be working before the DSU time, which is evening time. So you must have done something during the day or previously at night. So you should have seen those errors. So you should have communicated those errors maybe the night before or during the day before the DSU. You don't have to wait, because if you know this thing is a blocker or is an issue, your impediment, you just have to let the SMs know about it before DSU. You don't have to always wait for DSU. And most of you know attending DSU is not nice. Just take all those things KG said. I'm very glad she mentioned them, which are lapses, and they might look minor to you, but trust me, everything, like I was saying yesterday to the new cohorts that will be coming in, everything you guys are doing here is what you'll be doing out there. There's no difference. We are not sugarcoating it. We are not adding to it. Everything that is being that we are doing practically here is what you will go out there to do. You will replicate exactly the same thing. So just take every step, everything that is being taught here serious, and practice it and know how to implement them, so that when you get out there, you'll be able to do the same accordingly. And once you exhibit all this process, or this approach towards your jobs or towards your tasks, you will look so professional at what you are doing. Sorry for the background noise. So it will make you look so professional, trust me. And it will just cover any experience that you put on your CV. You will not look like an amateur. You will not look like somebody that is coming out of internship, if you get what I'm trying to say. But well done to KG for pointing all those lapses out and the action taken and things like that. Then there was a place where you said invest more time in the drafting and framing session to avoid execution delays, which I don't know what you meant by that. If you are referring to the sprint backlog, were you guys not attending sprint backlog? I don't know, but whatever that, if you guys knew what that meant, I don't know. I hope you guys have learned from that, but I'm assuming that this would have been referring to product backlog refinement ceremony, or the sprint planning ceremony. So, but other than that, well done. No automation slides, but I can see, I think you guys did more of manual, which is okay, but congratulations to each and every one of you that is still here, and just go out there and grab the job. And well done to you, KG, well done. I wasn't expecting anything less, to be honest, anyway, but well done. Thank you, Team Binary. And I'll move quickly to Agile. Okay, Agile, you nearly gave me heart attack, because I received a different slide that didn't have anything from the QA. And to be honest, I was ready to give it to you guys, but Lao Me later sent it immediately, just as Oluwaseun was presenting. And yeah, so well done. Good content, good presentation from you, Oluwaseun. I like the confidence as well. And your content, well detailed, well structured, and it was full of lots of information, which is great. Your test coverage was there, and you had your Azure board with the tags that were done on it, and the ones that, which is great, to be honest. It shows that you guys did. But I thought the previous which I don't know anyway, because the previous slide that was sent said you guys had some blockheads, and you guys were unable to complete your total test coverage, but you didn't mention any of that, and I can't see any of that on the board. I want to believe this is the right board for this sprint. I'm going to take you by your words. And well done to all the automation slides that were added to your presentation, which is great, to your content, which is great. Well done. And I did see one of the slides that had your bug that was raised. Well done. I think it was assigned to a developer. I don't know if that's one of your developer. I think I saw one named I don't know that name, but I want to believe that is the developer and it was assigned properly, because this is exactly what happened to the team binary. Good luck. Oh, Koti, I don't know if that's a developer. I don't know. But yeah, please, whenever a bug is raised, this was why I was always asking for a screenshot so that we know if these things are being done properly, because you can't afford to make mistake raising it, because literally all what we do is design test cases and raise bug and um, uh, create a test report or a well-detailed bug report. So if you don't have a clear, so you guys can revert to the video of your bug defect if you are still struggling with raising bugs, because you should know how to give a clear report of when a bug is being raised. Because if you don't have a good and clear report, trust me, it will not be fixed. The developer will ignore you, and that is not good for a tester, to be honest. So, but well done to Team iChai, and yeah, good content. I liked everything on your presentation. So I want to say congratulations once more to each and every one of you still standing, and good luck and all the best. Go and grab the job. Thank you.
Hello. So I'm just going to go straight and start with binary, SM binary. So having looked through your, should I say your matrix, to be honest, it just seems as if there's kind of contradiction in what you've said, what you've put out there, what is on your slide, your matrix, your capacity planning. It's just kind of not tallying. I think from what I'm seeing, it seems like where the issue has started in the first place is your capacity planning. I see you've just put down just 2 people, which is 2 testers for your capacity planning. Does it mean that the rest of the development team did not participate in any work this sprint? Because it's just 2 people that I'm seeing, 2 testers. Where's the developer? Did they take days off? Because I'm seeing on your analytics that there's no days, nobody's taking any day off. And it's just 2 people that you've actually put in on your capacity per day, which is the 2 testers. So, which means that you have very, very limited capacity for this sprint. And then you've gone on to take on more than enough work. So definitely you will not be able to complete most of the work that you've committed into sprint, because you don't have anyone to do that work anyway. And that has reflected on your completion, what you've completed in the sprint, your burn down chart, your velocity chart, your CFD chart as well. It's just not adding up. I think what you need to do is because these things are very important during sprint planning or during sprint, because once you start by making a mistake from the onset, it's going to be kind of messing up your work all through. At the end of the day, you have a lot of PBIs or user stories in sprint. They will just be sitting in either in dev or in committed section and all that. And as you can see from your board, your sprint board, that's what has happened. You've only managed to kind of deliver. I can only see 2 in done stage, in sprint 6. So next time, I think you need to understand who is available. Ask them directly, are you available to work? If they are not, just indicate and ensure that during your sprint planning, you're prioritizing your stories that is coming to sprint, and don't do more than you can take on for the sprint, because this is going to happen, like I said, And then well done on your escalation, explanation of the escalation process. Is actually good for you to do that so that everybody understands kind of I don't want to say hierarchy, but how you go about it, instead of you just jumping straight to maybe the stakeholder, you just go through the normal process. So well done on that. Yeah. And I can also see that you had an impediment, which was kind of the developer. So there are other ways to actually kind of, let me say, tackle this. You can have team bonding sections to kind of involve your developer, because it's not good when your developer is working in isolation, the team is working in isolation. They are all part of the team. So you as a Scrum Master is responsible to bring the team together. So look for ways, if it's just calling them, buzzing them, find a way to understanding their own pattern or their own program, make them get involved so that things like this will not occur, like, get them into the team. Look for ways, like I said, team bonding sections to kind of bring them into the, what's it called, the sprint or the project, and like I said, be mindful of the work you take on, because it's going to look very bad on the team. And I kind of like the website. I do like the website, the pictures I've seen so far, the screenshots. It looks really nice. The colors are kind of blending. The fonts are really looking nice. I do like it. So like I said, I'm not going to take too much of your time. Kind of understand what your matrix is, understand what they represent on that board. I don't mind. You can buzz me. I can jump on a call and we can go through all this together. The capacity planning, the matrix on your ADO board. We can go through this together and I'll explain to you what they represent and how you need to kind of ensure that you're properly set up and things are going well. So that is it for the SM for binary. But in all, well done. You guys did well. Well done on your work, really. I know you had a lot of obstacles and you've managed to kind of identify what that obstacle is. And I believe that your mitigation steps have been put in place and you will do better next time. So well done, guys. Then I'm going to go into the, what's it called? Agile. Yeah. So Agile Scrum Master. Well done. I actually really like your work as well. You've done really, really well. I think it's Bukola that did the first presentation, sorry. So you've done really well. I like the look of the website as well. The front, the color, it's beautiful, really. I like the way you guys have picked the colors. It's well organized. I like the way you've documented your lesson learned, and then you've acknowledged some team members, like acknowledge people that have done well in the sprint, which is good. The way you explained the way you've done your capacity planning, that's very, very good, honestly, because what you've done now, you've gone outside just relying on the board to give you automatic calculation. You've taken a further step to know how to calculate it and understand what it should be. So if you're at work and you kind of stop, maybe something goes malfunction to you, but you know what to do. So that's really, really good. And you gave us a good explanation of what you've done there. So well done. And then also the same with your, what's it called? Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, your burn down chart, your matrix, really, basically. The one I got initially was kind of different. So I was like, it's different from what you're saying. So what's going on? But I finally got the actual presentation slide you used, and well done, well done, well done. I actually like what you've done there as well. You do understand what those charts are. You do understand your burn down, explaining all the features to us individually, which is really, really good. So well done on your matrix as well. Your CFD diagram, well done. And the way your blocker and the issues you have during your sprint, you found the resolution, you were able to kind of find a solution eventually. And then, one thing you need to also consider as a Scrum Master, when you are either decreasing or increasing scope in sprints, always involve your developer so that there can be a proper negotiation. So you understand, can he take on this work or can he take out this work? What do we have to do? Because negotiation is key when it comes to sprint. Especially when you're adding something to sprints or taking something out, or so negotiation is very, very key. Carry your developer along. It seems like the two teams have the same issue, which is developer issues. Your developer is very, very, very important in your team, because if the developer is not working, that means you guys are not going to achieve any delivery, any goal. The sprint goal will not be met. So your developer should be your friend in the team. You understand? Everybody is important. I agree. We all are important in Scrum. But when it comes to the developer, you find a way to rope him into the work, because without the developer, without the developer, it's like a waste of time. So well done, guys. And to the SMs, congratulations on your on your upcoming graduation. Well done. You guys have done well. I know that you're taking a lot out of here, and good luck in the future. So for the ADM, I'm just going to go through it as one because you've kind of put it together. Initially, I was confused, like what's going on. Then I realized that, okay, when the person that presented for Agile said you've kind of merged it together, then I understood the slides. Well done. You've done a good work as well. You've kind of gone outside the box to do your, what's it called? Make your burn down charts and all that, outside the, what's it called? The what's it called? Outside the team. So well done. Your project plan breakdown, I think you need to kind of explain. Next time we can just go through it properly, which is also like your milestone, your burn down. Let us understand, because you just showed us the slide. I don't even know if it's for 2 teams or it's for 1 team, or you've done something, kind of merged it up. You just said this is the burn down chart of what team or for which team. What is that burn down for really? Let me understand what it is. So next time, just kind of elaborate more. Let's understand it well, so you can talk us through those milestones. Let's understand it. And then well done on the attempt of using your MS project. It's really good. Well done. That's quite impressive as well. Your RAID log is good. Your constraints and with the same developer availability. So like I said, work with the team. You guys things like this are very important. It shouldn't be a problem in the first place, because a developer must be part of the team, so you should need to kind of ensure from the onset that you all are working together, so that's it for the ADM. Really, every other thing is good. I'm happy with what you've done so far, so well done to you guys. And the other thing is, the final word for you is don't work in isolation. Always work with the team, because you're still part of the team one way or the other. So well done. And for the ADMs, congratulations on your upcoming graduation as well. For the PM, I don't know what team it is. Catherine, I think it was Catherine should be from, is it Binary? I'm not sure what team. Yeah, I think it's Binary. Okay, Binary didn't show us anything from their PM. So it is Agile. I just saw the slide. To be honest, I don't know. It looks as if you are not even working with the team, because your slides are just telling us about the deliverables. That I wanted to see more things that PM, risk tracker, risk logs. There were a lot of issues in this sprint on both teams. So I think you should have had something like your risk register, something to show us how you tracked this risk, the mitigation steps you as a project manager took, your intervention with the team. Except maybe you were working on a different project, but as long as it's this project, there's so much you could have showed us. Let us understand what you've done, because you are also part of the team in a way. You should be able to see these risks before they even, like issues, you should see them before they even occur, and then bring in mitigation steps, working hand in hand with them. Aside from that, well done. Well done on your work, and congratulations on your upcoming graduation. The other team did not do anything from the project manager, so I don't have any thing to say for that. But well done, guys. Well done, everyone. Thanks.
Good evening. So awesome presentation by both groups, but I'll break it down and just start with each group. But before I do that, there was a comment that was made, I think, by the ADM about the BAs, and I just wanted to quickly address that. So I think in presenting, he said something about there was an issue, and then feedback was gotten from the PO, and then you persuaded the BAs to rewrite their PBIs. That's their job. I'm not sure where the persuasion comes in. So I'm a bit concerned about that comment. And I just want to say that it's really nice to, even when you have issues, to couch it in a way that, it doesn't really reflect badly on any group. Because if I'm the BA in that team and my ADM is saying they had to persuade me to rewrite my PBIs when it's my job, I will mute and I will talk. Because what? Do you understand? So in this kind of meetings, you have some senior people, and they're not going to be quiet. So whether you're talking about your developer or your BA or your PO, when you say something, the person is going to respond, and you don't want a conflict in your team. That's the last thing you want. I noticed that the SM in that particular group said, we made some recommendations. There was an issue, we made some recommendations, and the issue was resolved. Lovely. No fingers were pointed, nothing. But, if there's an issue with the BAs, it would be nice to escalate it. But if there was not, that comment is a bit, I just wanted to point it out because, like I said, I would respond if I'm the BA in that team. So, okay, having said all of that, I just want to go to the individual presentations. Damilola, really, really great presentation. Absolutely lovely. Your cadence, the slides, everything was just beautiful. You've come into your own. Obviously, you're quite confident in the way you're presenting you're presenting. I think there was even a point where you were told it was 1 minute and you were like, oh, thank you. And you continued. You didn't even let it, stop you. So that just shows how confident you are. And obviously you stuck to time. I think you literally, once it was time up, you had finished anyway. So I love that little thing, really, really good. I also love that you had 2 lead BAs. I don't know if that's why your presentation was really good, like that you had 2 people, but from the perspective that everybody got a chance to be a lead BA, because I know there were a number of you and there are only 6 sprints. So I really like the fact that you guys made room for other people to take on responsibility so you can actually talk about it. I really love that as well. You outlined the work you did really, really well. There's something you guys did in this presentation that you hadn't done before, which is you put the 2 things side by side. So when you have the website, you had your wireframe, you have your PBI, you have your wireframe and the website. So it just shows that the requirement we wrote was what was delivered. The wireframe we created, there's an actual website that reflects that wireframe. So basically we did our job really well. I really love that juxtaposition. It was side by side. It was brilliantly done. Very, very well done. Your artifacts were beautiful. Your gap analysis, I'll go back to your lessons learned, but your lessons learned, you just basically, took on a lot of my comments because you just kept improving. So I've seen your gap analysis before. This one is even better. Like everything you did this time, you did it better. You've done it well in the past, but this time you outdid yourselves. You did it better. And this is your last sprint, obviously, but that just tells me that if you guys had another sprint, you would do it better. Like that continuous improvement is brilliant. Really, really great. I loved your process maps. That was something you did. You didn't show me one process map. You literally showed 5 different process maps. So you had the login, you had the purchase one, really very important. Order fulfillment, custom. You just outline the different process maps. Very, very well done. However, I think it was for the purchase process one, there was only one end point. And I'm thinking through an end-to-end customer journey. There are a number of different points where the customer can opt out. A purchase process doesn't always go all the way through. How many times have we put things in the basket and when it comes time to pay, we don't pay? So there are loads of different times when the process doesn't end with a purchase. So for your process maps, make sure that you always think the process through. It doesn't always end. There are many different points at which the process can end. So please take that into consideration. For some corrections, I think in your pronunciation, you said Miro. It's actually Miro. So some of all those things, just take them into consideration. There were a few grammatical errors, not a lot at all, but a few. And when there isn't a lot, 1 or 2 is a bit glaring. So, always be sure to proofread and make sure that there aren't any grammatical errors as well. For your key meetings, I wanted to see a lot more of your Scrum ceremonies. There were a few, but I think you also missed out a few. So please make sure that you highlight your Scrum ceremonies because that's what people look at really. So they're quite important. For your sprint goal, great articulation as well. But however, you said it was a continuation of capture. I think it was supposed to be the end end of project process. I didn't see that there. So I think you guys continued with capture and cookies. I'm not sure why, but even though you have outstanding work from a previous sprint, if the particular sprint goal is something different then, and you don't articulate it, then, you know, there might be a bit of a discrepancy there, especially when you've been given different requirements. So be careful about that. I mean, you might have a reason for doing that, but I just thought it was a bit confusing. Like I said, for your lessons learned, you articulated all the different improvements you've done. So again, you are very self-aware. I like that a lot. If you don't know what you've done, then you won't be able to sell yourself. So I really like that you talked about all the different things, different ways you've improved. Tools listed, really great. So as a final note, I just want to, you know, commend you so much on the work you've done. You guys started really strong. You're ending on a very high note. Your presentation this time was really great. You didn't let your standards drop. You know, you've been consistent, and I know that with the things you've learned, you will just keep getting better and better, because that's basically, you know, how we improve. So very, very well done. I loved your presentation for the different reasons I highlighted. For Team Binary, Adejoke, very, very well done as well. I can see that a lot of work went into your presentation, and your effort is really, really appreciated, you know. So for the presentation, however, while I understand that you want to show a lot of what you've done, your presentation was very text heavy, you know, so a lot of the way you show that you've done some of these things is to share the screenshots rather than put the text on the presentation. So if you can just do that for next time, that would be really, really good. I liked your sprint goal because you focused on the requirements, which were end of sprint reports, user guides, all of that, release notes, like all the things you do at the end of a project, you know, even if it's just for the first release, that's important for BA. So I really like that you were able to articulate that as well. And then you showed us some of the artifacts you created, like your report, your user guide, all of that. Again, just to go back, for things like the user guide and all of that, it, you know, rather than put the content on the presentation, you can just share a screenshot of it and that would suffice. You know, I like that you listed out the PBIs you worked on. It was really nice to see everything together. Like we usually see 10, 20, but to say, okay, throughout this whole project, this is how many screenshots we, how many PBIs we worked on, how many were approved, UAT, all of that was really great to see in one place. I've talked about your documentation, really good. I liked your what is outstanding and recommendations for future sprints, because the release is not usually the end of a project. Projects have multiple releases, so you acknowledge that by saying there's still work to be done. We've done this, there's still work to be done. Product workflow was great. I think I'd seen that before. I'd have liked to see something more detailed. This is the end of the project, so it would have been nice to see some of those things properly detailed. A breakdown of the different processes as well. Like I said, more screenshots would have been really good. Rather than tell us what you've done, it would have been nice for you to have shown us what you've done. And I know that with the last sprint, there's usually a lot of challenges. I don't know how, you know, active the other BAs were, but it would have been nice to see a bit more teamwork, because some of your colleagues have done these things before. So I would have liked to have seen them chip in a bit more to, you know, give feedback before the presentation itself. I'm really happy to have a one-on-one with you or with anyone else, and with anyone else who wants to like get more feedback or ask questions or anything. But I just want to, I know, you know, I see your improvement. I see your growth from when you started and now, and it's massive. So congratulations, well done on all of that. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. So for all of you, I just want to tell you that you all have the tools to succeed. Really, really proud of you. I wish you guys the best. Congratulations so much on everything you've done so far. And again, I wish you all the best. Thank you.
If you have, yeah, thank you. So yeah, because I won't do this in 10 minutes anyway, but with that, I'll just skip it anyway, because all the mentors already kind of talked on most of the things that I want to say. But I think Nick actually mentioned something anyway in terms of developers. I know the interns also will be looking in. Oh, okay, all right. So the developers are not part of the internship, okay, and I think that's the reason why you have some of the lagging behind of the developers joining some of the maybe stand-up or ceremonies anyway. But lesson learned, we need to look into that. So, and unfortunately, we don't have interns as developers. Developers are basically working with the rate icons anyway within the advanced team. Yeah, unfortunately, but I need to kind of clarify that. That's where most of them were not able to join some of the ceremonies that you guys have. But having said that, even with the limitation and everything, you guys have done very, very well. And to be honest, the presentation from the two BAs were wonderful. I just kind of look at that, okay, in both sides anyway, in terms of the level of details that you guys have presented. And at the point I was thinking that maybe next week or Monday, we are going to have sometime that maybe a social event, let down the net, the air and everything. But from what I saw right now, I was encouraged to say, okay, let's do another final presentation because this is really, really, really good actually. So, and this presentation will now bring everything together if you guys are up to the task anyway, because this was good and I will want to see something that would kind of bring all the work that you guys have done, right? I know you've done individual presentation. Now, as a team now, can you bring everything together? I just want to give you half an hour, one person, right, of two, to kind of go through that. But this is what I'm looking for anyway. I quickly, okay, Juliet, if you can stop this